Finding a job in Germany is quite tough, but not impossible, especially in this work environment where layoffs are happening and there are job freezes going out in almost all of the sectors in Germany. But there are certain things that you can do to make yourself stand out. Now, having an amazing CV or resume and a cover letter is absolutely essential. But there's one more thing that you should definitely look into, and that is the process of searching a job. I say this because you can always look for jobs randomly, but you need to find those jobs where you are the perfect candidate. So in this video, I'm going to share how to actually search for a job in Germany. This is just one of the ways. There are many other ways, and I'm not saying that this is the perfect way to search for a job, but this is something that I have done in the past, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. When you're searching for jobs in Germany, there are mainly three ways that you can search for one. The first one is using job portals. There are many job portals out there in Germany. The important ones are LinkedIn, Indeed, and Stepstone. For you to have great success in searching a job using LinkedIn, you have to update your profile and set up your keywords properly. The other way is directly applying through websites. You can search for different kinds of websites in your field. And the third one is through references. Now, for you to apply through a reference, you need to know someone in that company. That's why it's called reference. Let's look at the options in detail. We're going to have a look at Stepstone. If you don't know, stepstone.de is one of the biggest job portals in Germany. When you're searching for a job as an international or an expat, you would be inclined towards just looking for jobs in English. It can be a good thing for you when the job market is great, but right now, I think if you just focus on jobs that are displayed in English or available on English portals, I think you're missing out on 90% of the job opportunities out there. So at this moment, I would suggest you to look at every single available source. So this includes German websites and in German. So let's go through this process step by step. When you go to Stepstone, you will be asked, do you want to look for a part-time job or full-time job? In most situations, we are going to look for a full-time job. The city that we are interested in. Most people just look for job postings in their own city where they are currently living, or if they are applying from outside Germany, they look at the big cities like Berlin, Munich, Hamburg, Frankfurt, Cologne, many more. So in this example, we're going to write down these few cities, but later on, I'm also going to share why you should not limit yourself to just the big cities or your own city. So select these cities, click Weiter, then select when do you want to start a job, within 1 to 3 months. If you have a job title or profession in mind, write it down, and then they'll ask you to register. So it's better that you have a registered account with them. It's free of cost, and you can also have a paid version, but I think free of cost does help out a lot. Okay, now we can fine tune our search. When most people look or search for a job in Germany, they are usually using keywords that they are familiar with in English. For example, if someone is a civil engineer, they'll try to write down civil engineer in the job posting or the job title. But in Germany, it's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a Bauingenieur. Or let's say if someone is an IT engineer or someone is a programmer. Now they are going to just look for programming jobs. But as I said, in Germany, it's going to be a little bit different when in terms of the keywords. So the job title is going to be an important keyword that we have to play with. For example, if someone is an biomedical engineer, right? So they will write biomedical engineer. So now only those jobs will be displayed which are having the keyword biomedical engineer somewhere in the posting. But if you are in Germany, you must know that you won't find many jobs which are displayed as biomedical engineer. They will be mentioned as Medizintechnik. So it's better that you use the proper keyword. So in our situation, instead of biomedical engineering, we're going to search for Medizintechnik. As I said, in the location, we need to increase the range in which we are looking for. So we'll increase the range and search for jobs again. Now here we have 422 options available for Medizintechnik jobs in Berlin, Hamburg, Munich or Frankfurt and Cologne and the 100 kilometers of those cities. Once you have figured out which keyword or the job posting that you are searching for, you can try along and search for different keywords in your field. So this is one of the most important points. Next, let's have a look at one of the job postings that are available. Here they are looking for a Mitarbeiter Montage Medizintechnik. For the sake of simplicity, let's just translate this to English. An important thing is to look for jobs that have been recently published, because as I said, the job market is not great at this moment and there are a lot of people searching for jobs. The newer the job, the better the chances are for you to at least get an interview. First thing is the name of the company, then the city, it's a permanent position and is full-time. They are looking to strengthen their team in Hamburg, and the job posting or the job title is defined as Medical Technology Assembly Employee. They're looking for contributions in assembly of medical devices and assembly and compilation of spare part sets. So what you should bring and what you can expect from them, right? Let's go back to German again. They are looking for someone who has good German knowledge in writing and speaking. Now, obviously, if someone is just speaking in English and they don't know the German language, the chances for them to get a job in this field, or at least in this job posting, is quite low. But we can always try our luck. And as I've said in many videos, if you want to work in Germany, you should have at least B1 level of German proficiency. If you are having a lower German level at the moment, try to improve it. In the meantime, you can still apply for jobs and you can try your luck as well. As you can see, there are 422 jobs available in Medizintechnik. We can look for different things in those job postings. What are the companies looking for, right? You can compare the different job postings and see what they are actually looking for, and compare those job postings and see the similarities in the keywords first and the similarities in the requirements from the company. Once you have identified many similarities, you can look into your resume or your CV and figure out if you are fulfilling those commonalities, right? You cannot fulfill all of the requirements from a single company, but you can fulfill many out of those requirements. Let's say if a company is requiring 5 things from you and 4 or maybe 3 things actually have a complete match, and 1 or 2 things are some things that you know about and you can learn. The things number 4 and 5 are things that you can look into and improve in your resume. And in your analysis of job search or job postings, if you find out that in your field there are overlapping requirements from many different job postings and that you are definitely lacking in some core competencies, now you have identified those core competencies and the requirements from the German job postings or the German job market, you can work on that. If you are a student in Germany, this is something which you can definitely work on during your studies period. So let's say if you're in the 2nd or 3rd semester of your master's program, you can definitely try to incorporate those things during your studies, learn them on your own. Or if you are in a thesis or internship position right now, you can definitely talk to the people that are involved there and try to incorporate those things in your internship or your thesis position. You can do the same thing in Indeed.de or LinkedIn. Obviously, you need to apply to many job positions. I think when I was a student, I applied for almost 40 job positions, and I think right now the situation is very difficult. So something between 50 to 100 is a bare minimum. If someone is actually applying for jobs in Germany, they should also track their application, because you do not want to apply for the same position using different job portals. That will definitely decrease your chances for getting a job interview. What I used to do was to track using a manual Excel sheet. So this is something that I made a while ago. Here you can include something like the company name, job position, keyword. As I've just mentioned, keyword is quite essential. You can play around with different keywords like a Medizintechnik, Projektleiter, Project Manager, stuff like that. Then the URL, because you also need to sometimes go back to the URL and refer to the job posting, then applied on which date, and then in the drop down list you can select if it was a job portal, a company portal, reference, or did you apply for the job directly, or if you send an unsolicited application. Then in the status you can write down waiting. If you had been waiting for a long time, did you send a follow-up email to them? Or was the job posting rejected? Did you get an interview call? Or finally, if you got the job position. And you can also write down some notes about the job position. For example, if they needed someone who had B2 German language skills or really good German language skills, or if they needed certain special skills, for example, CAD design using SolidWorks, and you only know AutoCAD, and you can translate your AutoCAD skills into SolidWorks. Maybe you are following some tutorials. So important notes that you are doing to improve your chances to get this job position. For example, if you found something and you are in the process of applying and you are still waiting for your certificate, you can definitely write down those notes or anything that you feel important. Once you have applied for multiple jobs, you can definitely use the filter option and see which jobs you have applied for using a job portal, which you have applied using direct or reference, so you can filter out the things and get some important statistics from your job application process. If you're interested, I'll put a link to this Excel sheet below the like button. The next option is looking for companies directly, so applying using the company's website directly. Again, this depends on your field and the keywords that you're actually looking for. In most cases, you should be aware of the large companies or the big multinational companies in your field. For example, Bay Brown is present in Medizintechnik and in many other fields. Bosch, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, and many companies. It's important to at least know the big players in your field. Then go to their websites directly. For example, let's go to Bosch. Obviously, most companies are going to have their job portals in the career section and search for jobs there. And as I said, you should definitely look into Germany wide and not just limit yourself to a specific location in Germany. Now, I've seen many people struggle because they just want to stay in, let's say, Berlin or Munich, and unfortunately, most of the jobs available for foreigners or expats or non-Germans is in smaller cities. Now, you'll find many jobs in Munich, Berlin, Stuttgart, or whatever, but because most Germans are not willing to go to smaller cities within Germany, this is where a lot of expats can find good opportunities for themselves. But in that situation, you will definitely need great German language skills. Going back to Bosch, they have a lot of different positions. So let's say there's a master thesis position in foundation model compression methods. The position is in Renningen, it's information technology, and they need a student, right? So in the Aufgaben, this listing is in English, so we can definitely say that they are looking for someone in English because the language is fluent in English. They are looking for someone in machine learning, deep learning, neural languages, understanding, robotics, and computer vision from previous internship, work, personal, or projects. Look into the experience and knowledge section and see which skills you have and what most people are looking for in your ideal or in your field of application. So in this application, they are looking for someone who has at least one publication in a tier 1 conference in the field of machine learning, robotics, neural languages processing, or computer vision, as well as excellent and proven programming skills in Python and PyTorch or TensorFlow. If you haven't worked on PyTorch or TensorFlow, you should definitely work on Torch and TensorFlow if you're looking to work in this field. As this is posting directly on the website, you can click on Jetzt bewerben and start the process and add your details using the option here or using social profiles. Let's say if we applied for this position, what we can do is go back and fill out our Excel sheet. So the company name is, let's just remove the filters first. Let's say we apply today and we also copy the URL, right? So from the drop-down list, we say this is company portal and we are waiting as we have just applied. So let's go back and Jetzt bewerben, and we can fill out this information and submit it. If you're looking for a great CV template, you can also download it using my link in the description below. Please hit the like button if you're getting value from this video and consider subscribing. Once you know the big players in your field, you can also look for smaller players in that specific field. For example, a great way to find companies in your field is using Google Maps. Let's say we are in Berlin, or at least we are looking for companies in Berlin, and let's again look for Medizintechnik. So in the Berlin region, we have found that these companies have Medizintechnik at least in their name, right? So let's have a look at Dräger Medical, right? Dräger has a Medizintechnik department in Berlin. So you found a company which is in your niche or which is in your field. So what you can do is simply copy, or you'll generally find an email address or their website here, and now you know a company which you might not have known previously, and you can search for a job position in their website or their career section. This way you can find companies that are local to first you or in your desired area. So I know for sure that Tübingen is an important city in terms of medicine techniques. I can look for medicine technique directly in Tübingen. They have many small to mid-sized companies which are working on this field. As I said, you can use Google Maps to search for companies in smaller cities of Germany. I know it can seem like a waste of time, but it is certainly a way to find jobs or find companies in different areas. Okay, now you know how to look for jobs using job portals or directly using websites or using Google Maps to find companies and then applying directly using their websites. Another option is looking for people in specific companies or finding references. I know people don't use this option quite often because you need to know someone who is working in that company, but you can always look into your field and ask in your friend circle or look in different Facebook groups or different WhatsApp or Telegram groups in your community. I know for sure there are different community groups depending on, for example, different nationalities or different types of interests. You can always try to reach out people in those groups or communities and share your resume, share your profile, ask for tips there, and see if someone can refer you to a job position available in that company. It's important to build relationships and give value first to people before expecting something, but sometimes you just have to ask, right? These were some of my thoughts on the job search process. If you have any comments, if you want to share something with people who are searching for a job, if you think something that I said in this video was not that up to date, or if I have missed out on something that you think would be able to help out people who are searching for a job in Germany, then please let me know and share those things in the comments below. In this video, I share what I think is the best CV format to find a job in Germany, and in this video, I talk about the German job market. So thanks for watching, bleib gesund, and I'll see you in one of these videos.